really smell delicious.
So where were you when your wife was making the cookies? Objection!
What are your thoughts on the case?
I'm kind of nervous. I mean, I don't want my poor baby boy to be stuck in someone's stomach.
All right, court is back in session. I believe it was your witness, Thresher 1. Please approach the bench. Let's continue.
Where were you when the gingerbread boy ran past?
I was in the fields threshing out the wheat like I usually do with Thresher 1. Thresher 2.
Did you see the fox before he ate the gingerbread boy?
Not really. Many foxes come by.
Are there any distinct markings or traits on the fox that could be used to identify him?
Nope.
Had you seen or heard of the fox before this occurrence?
I've seen him because I talked to the horse and cow.
Did you see any remaining pieces of the gingerbread boy on the shore?
No. I have bad eyesight. I can't see much.
What did the fox do after he climbed out of the river?
Like I said, that I have horrible eyesight, and the mob was covering most of it.
Have you seen the fox recently?
No.
Your Honor, may I approach the witness with evidence number 1?
You may.
Is this the gingerbread boy?
I think so.
No further questions, Your Honor.
You good with your witness?
Yes.
Okay, you may step down. Defense?
We would like to call up Thresher 2.
Thresher 2.
Okay. Did you see anything suspicious around the time that the gingerbread boy was made?
I was still in the field with Thresher 1, and I didn't really see anything because I was a little bit further out than she was. First thing that I knew was I saw her perk her little head up, and I saw Thresher 1, and I saw her start chasing after, and then I smelled this really good smell, so I started chasing because I was real hungry.
So your intentions were to harm the gingerbread boy?
I wouldn't call it harming. I was hungry, and I was real curious. I mean, I ain't never smelled something like that before.
Okay. Did you know the old man and the old woman?
Not really. I mean, me and Thresher 1 live on the outside of town, so we don't know many people.
Did you know anybody else's intentions?
Not really. I just knew they was chasing after him too.
Okay. Did you personally know the fox?
No, like Thresher 1 said, a lot of foxes come running around the outskirts of our field. We don't really know them. They just come and go as they please.
Okay. No further questions.
Prosecution?
Where were you when the gingerbread boy started to pass?
I was in the fields.
What was the whole conversation between the fox and the gingerbread boy, if you heard it?
I didn't hear anything. I was real far back.
Do you know what the river was like?
I mean, I know it was wide. It was real dangerous to cross. I don't really go over there much.
What occurred when the fox ate the gingerbread boy?
I didn't see anything. I was in the back. Thresher 1 started talking to me, so I started talking back to her, and we just started walking back.
Did you see any remaining pieces of the gingerbread boy?
No,
What did the fox do after he ate the gingerbread boy?
I didn't see anything. The river's real wide. All I saw at the very end was the fox jumping up on the other side of the bank.
Okay. May we approach the witness with evidence 1?
You may.
Was this the gingerbread boy?
I'm not sure. I didn't really see anything. I just started chasing after Thresher 1 because I smelled something real good. So I wouldn't know if that was him or not.
No further questions, Your Honor.
Okay, you may step down. Defense, do you have any further witnesses?
Yes, we would like to call Fox to stand.
All right. Good morning.
Did you live on the side of the river you were taking the gingerbread boy to, or the side that the mob was on?
The side the mob was on.
Where were you before you picked up the gingerbread boy?
I was in the meadow chasing butterflies.
Did you promise to take the gingerbread boy across the river?
Yes.
Why did you promise to take him across?
Well, I felt sorry for him. He was being chased by many people.
Did you get to the other side of the river?
Yes.
Was the gingerbread boy teasing you like he teased the others who chased him?
Yes.
How did you feel when the gingerbread boy was teasing you?
Upset. He didn't understand I was trying to help him.
Did you know who the people in the mob were?
Not really. I haven't really talked to any of them.
No further questions, Your Honor.
Prosecution?
What did you think when you first saw the gingerbread boy running across?
He smelled delicious. I didn't really entirely eat him. I had been already eating the butterflies.
What were your intentions in chasing the gingerbread boy?
I didn't chase him.
Did you eat the gingerbread boy?
No.
Objection, Your Honor.
Explain.
In the text, it clearly states that the fox chased the gingerbread boy. And it is stated that she did not chase the gingerbread boy.
In your statement, clarify, did you or did you not chase the gingerbread boy?
No.
So the statement you gave was falsified?
It does not directly state that the fox chased him. In fact, the fox was standing at the edge of the riverbank. The gingerbread boy approached him, and the gingerbread boy saw he had to cross the river and they would catch him. The fox saw this and promised him that he would take him across the river.
Prosecution, do you have any evidence stating in plain text that the fox was chasing the gingerbread boy?
Yes, Your Honor. It said the fox looked at him and began to run.
Prosecution, please approach the bench. We do have in statement the fox running. What I don't have is the fox chasing. Where were you running for?
I had seen some more butterflies. Those tend to be my favorite snack.
Okay. So in the plain text, I'm going to read this statement out. Then the gingerbread boy saw the fox coming across the field. The fox looked at him, and then you began to run. The boy shouted at you, and then you stated why I wouldn't catch you if you could. So I have a statement stating that you denied to chase him. Unfortunately, I don't have definitive evidence stating intent or to chase. We just have that the fox did run, and the fox openly denying that he couldn't catch him if he did run.
Judge McDowell, I'm going to have to ask for a brief recess for just a second.
All right, court is back in session. All right. So I'm going to have to overrule the contempt of court due to the information in the plain text. If you can further prove intent or any other plain text where it states that the fox was chasing, I'll allow it. But as of right now, per the report, I have nothing stating that the fox was clearly chasing.
Did you notice the rest of the brush of people chasing you? I didn't see anyone chasing me, but people chasing the gingerbread boy, well, I mean, it would be hard not to notice them. There were just so many of them. Do you admit to convincing the gingerbread boy to continue to move closer to your mouth? I didn't convince, well, actually, I told him to move because I didn't want him to fall in. The river's really, really fast, and it was hard for me to get across, and I thought I was going to get pulled under. So I was trying to be careful. I was trying to be wary of him, too.
Did you intend to talk to the gingerbread boy into moving closer to your mouth?
Well, I mean, like I said, I wanted to keep him safe.
Did the river actually get deeper?
Yes, it's a very large river.
Why did you manipulate the gingerbread boy?
I didn't manipulate him, and I'm not sure exactly when you were talking about whenever I was talking to him.
Did the gingerbread boy say anything when you ate him?
I didn't eat him.
Objection, Your Honor.
Proceed.
The fox stated that she did not eat the gingerbread boy. According to the text, it says, the fox sprang ashore and threw his head back. Snip, half the gingerbread boy was gone. Snip, snap, he was 3/4 gone. Snip, snap, snip. At last, he went the way of every single gingerbread boy that ever came out of an oven. He was all gone.
Objection!
Very clearly stated that the fox, my client, did eat him.
Counsel.
In the text, it states, at last, he went the way of every single gingerbread boy that ever came out of an oven. This is referring to being eaten because people eat gingerbread men and boys because they're baked goods. So it's referring to the fact that he was eaten.
So that's inferred.
And then it says he was all gone. Also,
Do we know who gave that statement?
the text, the narrator in the text. This is all we were about it for.
Please approach.
Yes.
Okay. All right, so as of right now with this text here, we have a statement from a narrator which I do not have in open court, so at this time I cannot grant the contempt. But I would like to know what happened to the gingerbread boy when you got to shore.
So when I jumped up on shore, I threw my head back because the rest of my body was wet. And you know how like dogs and foxes like shake their bodies so that they get the water off. So that's what I did. But then the gingerbread boy fell off my nose because I forgot that he was there, and he fell in the water. And I don't have hands, I have paws, so I couldn't really grab him. So I was trying to use my mouth to catch him, and so my jaw went, and I missed him, and he kept going underwater even further.
Okay. Prosecution, do you have any further questions or evidence to provide?
How did the gingerbread boy's taunts make you feel?
Well, I was a little upset because he didn't understand. I was trying to help him get away from all the people.
No further questions, Your Honor.
Okay. Defense, do you have anything else you'd like to ask your witness? Okay, you may step down. Prosecution, do you have any other witnesses you would like to recall to the bench for cross-examination?
No, Your Honor.
Defense, same question. Prosecution, at this time, do you have any evidence you would like to enter into court?
Yes, Your Honor. These are crumbs of the gingerbread boy found at the scene of the crime.
Objection!
Explain.
She brought us basically crushed up pieces of a dead body.
It does seem to be how it appears. Can we prove that this is the actual remains of our victim?
Your Honor, may we approach?
Approach.
This is a picture taken in the old man and the old woman's house of gingerbread crumbs that were found when they were on a trek.
do look fairly similar. I'd like to call the old woman to the stand. Can you identify that? What is that?
That is crimes for minors.
Objection.
Our other team said that there was no remains left of the gingerbread boy. That bag is the remains of the gingerbread boy.
Okay. And these remains were located where, prosecution?
The remains were located on the riverbank, the shoreline.
And there were multiple statements saying that no remains were found. So were these remains from that photo from the home, or were these remains from the shore?
They were from the shoreline.
Okay. With conflicting statements from witnesses on both sides, I cannot allow this evidence in. Jury, please strike that from your notes. You may be seated. Any evidence that you would like to enter at this time? Any more evidence? Defense?
So during the questioning with the old lady, she mentioned on the first question what were your intentions for the gingerbread boy originally. She had mentioned she wanted a sweet little boy. But when we had asked her, did you ever expect the gingerbread boy to come to life or to escape, she said she didn't expect him to come to life.
Okay. Where are you going with this, defense?
Her intentions were furthermore to eat the gingerbread boy, not to make a family.
Okay. Prosecution, comments? Because that is a strong argument.
No further questions, Your Honor.
Okay. At this time, we're going to do closing arguments. Prosecution will start with you. Please address the jury, give your final your final arguments on the case.
Thank you, Your Honor. Comrades of the jury, we once again thank you for being here today.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, we have proven the defendant, the Fox, guilty of numerous and consequential crimes he committed. These acts resulted in the loss of the old man and the old woman's dear gingerbread boy, and the offender's crime shall be dealt with such. Thank you for your time.
Okay. Defense, closing arguments.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening to these witnesses we have brought up. The defendant, Fox, has spoken, as have the other 8 witnesses. Just to recap what we have learned. The Fox did not attack anyone aggressively. Aggravated battery is therefore not relevant here. Fox has also clearly stated that she did not eat or murder anyone. Remember that she was under oath. Thirdly, a misdemeanor fraud is described in the criminal behavior chart as to mislead or to fool someone into believing that he will be paid back. Felony fraud is defined as to carry out a plan to deceive or trick another person, which results in the loss of money or something valuable. Now I ask you, Your Honor, and the ladies and gentlemen of the jury, did Fox say that she manipulated anyone, tricked someone, deceived someone, as all of those are synonyms? No. In fact, she said that she did not manipulate anyone. Lastly, we would like to bring up the point of child abduction. Really, other than his name, we have no true indication of the gingerbread boy's age. And truly, boy can refer to any male no matter what age you are. My team and I assume the gingerbread age differently than humans. One day might be 20 years for them. On top of that, the gingerbread boy willingly went with the Fox. The Fox did not force him or bribe him. Really, the gingerbread boy was in total control of that situation. Therefore, with those 2 points in mind, we feel that child abduction is not, in fact, relevant to the situation. Thank you.
Members of the jury, you've heard the facts stated. Your job is to decide whether or not the Fox is guilty of the charges presented. It has to be a unanimous decision for each count. Okay? This time, I'll excuse you to discuss, and then when you come back, we'll speak on your verdict. Jury's excused.
All rise. The Honorable Judge McDowell, court is now in session. You may be seated.
Good morning. I've been told that the jury has come to a verdict. Is that correct? And it's a unanimous verdict on all 5 charges? Who's my jury foreman? Please rise. All right. On count one, misdemeanor fraud, what say you?
Not guilty.
Not guilty? Okay. On the second charge of felony murder, what say you?
Guilty.
Guilty. On the second charge of felony aggravated battery, what say you?
Guilty.
On the fourth charge of felony child abduction, what say you?
Not guilty.
And finally, on the fifth charge of felony fraud, what say you?
Not guilty.
This is a unanimous verdict from everybody on the jury. No coercion, no issues with coming up with that verdict. Thank you. You may be seated. All right, may the defendant please rise, along with your counselors. So you've been found guilty of murder and aggravated battery. You've been found guilty by a group of your own peers. With murder, I'm going to say that's going to be life in prison without possibility of parole. Yes.
Inside law, it says that you can't convict the Fox against aggravated battery and murder in the same case.
So we're looking at intent overall, is what we're talking about. So the aggravated battery, which led to the subject dying, with the intent overall of eating the individual, which is what the jury has posed to. Now, you have the right to appeal that case, which you can absolutely appeal that when we come back. So let's see here. Thank you. What does it say here? 20 to 40 years, life in prison to death. And then it was battery. 3 to 7 years in prison. So the finding of life in prison stands. This court is adjourned.
How do you feel about how the case went?
I believe I'm still innocent. I shouldn't have gotten what I was given.
Do you genuinely think you were wrongly accused?
Yes.
What are your thoughts on the case?
I think that we did really well, and I think that Natalie handled this case very well. She did very good on the objections, and I think our evidence was rock solid.
How do you feel about the Fox?
Well, she seems like a nice person, but I guess the jury picks whether that was true or not.
Any charges that you think should have been added?
I don't think they should have added any charges. If anything, they should have dropped some of them. I don't think that the Fox deserved all that she was put on trial for.
Okay, thank you. What are your thoughts on the case? I think the Fox got what he deserved. How do you feel about the Fox? I'm not too happy with him. He's a very cool person. How do you feel about being a witness? I feel proud that I can share my knowledge with everyone to put the Fox in his place.